Okay, hey guys, we are going to talk about the Maitre D program in this set of notes, and this program demonstrates treating a value as a condition, and it demonstrates the in operator as well as the not in operators combined. So you'll find this project in your Unit 2 notes project in Replit. So like I said, it demonstrates values as conditions, which we've looked at a little bit already. So just as a review here, we can treat values as conditions by themselves. So meaning the integer 0 or the float value 0.0, for example, can be evaluated all on their own as false. And anything other than that as a number is going to be evaluated as true. So if you have the number 1 in your program and you want to evaluate that with like an if statement, it would be treated as true. And for strings, if you have an empty string, like 2 quotes is an empty string, that would be false. And everything else, a non-empty string, would be treated as true. So we can use that to check in a program. If you scroll down and look at the actual Maitre D program, it prints that welcome to this restaurant, Chateau de Food, and it seems we're quite full this evening, and then it asks the name of the person and how many dollars you want to tip. Right. And what the program does is it checks if money, meaning if money has a value or anything other than 0, then you're going to be sat at a table. So write this way to your table. So basically, you can tip your way in. Right? If you give a tip, then you're going to get right in. Right, so that's an example of treating a value as a condition. The other thing this program demonstrates is the in operator, which is going to search a sequence, like a string is a sequence of characters, for a value and return true if found, false otherwise. You can also combine this with the not operator, and we'll take a look at this. So, for example, this following conditional statement will print if there is a fun, right, in fundamentals. So we can demonstrate this. If I go ahead and comment this out, just a brief edit to this program. So we'll go ahead and back these out a bit, and then we'll restart our multi-line comment. So you can see here, we can use this in operator. It highlights blue. To look inside of a sequence. So in this case, our sequence is a string fundamentals, and we're looking for the string fun in fundamentals. And if it finds it, it should print that there is a fun in fundamentals. So we run this program. Oh, I have the wrong program imported, so let me change that. With in too many quotes. Oh, we got an extra quote here. All right, so there is a fun in fundamentals. Right, so that prints because this evaluates to true. So it found the word fun in fundamentals, so that's why it's able to print that. Looking at another example, I'm going to go ahead and move this around a bit. So let's separate our challenge from the example. The following prints that there is no I in team. And here you see an example of combining these operators in and not. So you can check not only if something is in, but if something is not in another a sequence. So in this case, the sequence is team, so a sequence of characters, and we can look for a single character, I, to see if I is in team. And if it's not in team, then we'll say there's no I in team, and if it is, then we'll say else there is an I in team. All right, let's run this code. There's no I in team. Right, so not in, didn't find an I, so therefore this was evaluated to true. Right, this expression here was evaluated to true. Right, so now you've seen an example of both of those, so then we can finish off our Maitre d program below. So finish the program to check if the patron to the restaurant is a doctor. So check to see if it's doctor or doctor. If they are a doctor, tell them that they can be seated right away, and that doctors don't have to tip if they don't want to. Right. So this means in our program down below, we're going to need to have another check. So one way to get in this restaurant is to tip. Right. Another way is to be a doctor. So Aleph doctor is in the name, or also we could look for the abbreviation doctor is in the name. And if either of those are true, you can say something like, right this way to your table. Say there's always room for a doctor here. Okay, so looking for the string doctor in name or this string doctor in the name. So either of those are true, and we'll let them in the restaurant. Dr. Callahan, I am not a doctor. 0. So let's write this way to your table, Dr. Callahan. There's always room for a doctor here. All right, so there's one example. This doesn't use the not in here, but you did see the example of that above. So both in and not in can be useful for looking inside of a sequence.